It ain't bad in the day if they squirt it your way, except in the winter when it's froze, and it's hard when it hits on your nose, on your nose. Yeah, Shantae people. I had a burst pipe. The only bit of copper that was above ground. And I think I've told you about this, haven't I? But anyway, it's the only bit of news I have, of course. Not really. So, been lots of interesting things happening, but not to me. No, really. I feel as though progress is being made, which is great on all fronts. The things that we want to see happening are kind of happening, and it was only a matter of time, I suppose. But of course, the mainstream are not going to touch it until they have to plan for this. They can't. Well, they probably already have planned for it, but they can't just release this information to the general public. See, the thing with common sense is, unfortunately, it's not that common anymore. And I know what it means, what common sense actually means, but and I know what common means, as in widespread, everywhere you look, there's one sort of thing, that sort of common. And there's the the working class kind of common, which I am. I am common in every respect, but I know that I have got common sense. I've got the common sense not to stick my finger in a fan when it's turned on. That sort of common sense, If I was a window cleaner, I wouldn't do it with my tongue. That kind of common sense, And I hate to say it, but a lot of people just haven't got that anymore. It's kind of been taken from them. That's the way it looks to me. But it's been taken from them by the television, really. Media. There's something going on. Oh, it's just, yeah, it's okay. Just Sweetie coming in. The cat. Right, now she'll do that as well. Yeah. So to just announce it, this is 6 o'clock news. Scientists have just discovered the Earth is flat and space is a big joke. Whoa. They're not going to do that. It really will be the case that all the space stuff, which is total bollocks, has to fail somehow. That has to, the curtain has to be drawn back. One of the best films ever made, The Wizard of Oz, of course, because it's just so true. Everything about it, it's brilliant. And of course, you get the straw man in there as well. Yeah. A good friend used to sing one of the parts to me. Just one line out of that song, and you probably guessed what it was. If I only had a brain. Of course, he was singing it as referring to me. Yes, and I probably do look more like the straw man. And it was straw man who didn't have a brain. But Dorothy, of course, reassures everybody at the end that he thought of a plan to, I think it was him that thought of the plan to get away from the witch's clutches or something. And the Tin Man, who didn't have a heart. Is that the right way around? It's a long time since I've seen it, and I was a little bit worse for wear when I did watch it last. But it was a great film, and the colour in it is quite extraordinary. You know, it's meant to be really garish and bright, and it is, and it's like proper eye candy. That the sets are amazing, and of course the Munchkins, the little fellas. Just what an incredibly extraordinary cast. Yeah, and the thing is about this film, sorry to go on about it, but it is quite an amazing film, and if you haven't watched it, you really should, or watch it again as an adult. But it was made in 1938, I think. How was it released in 38? So it was probably made in 37 or 38, you know, both. But it was really, you know, it was before the First World War. And colour film back then was quite unusual, I would imagine. Very expensive, the film would be. And I keep looking at my fire because it's roaring away. I'm just about to run out of juice as well. Excuse me a minute. Sorry, that whirring noise is the what's it called? Transducer. It's not a transducer. It's the inverter, of course, which converts battery power into mains power, because you can't run a computer, not even a laptop, not this one anyway, off 12 volts. I think it has to be 19 volts, which is ridiculous because it's only a few more, and I have to convert a battery power, 12 volts of a battery, into 240 volts, and then it's returned back again, it's stepped down again in the computer cable by this little box, back down to whatever it runs on, which is 19, I think. So that's I'm losing energy just running that fan, if you see what I mean. It should just convert a little bit of a step up instead of going all the way to 240. Anyway, fucking hell, what am I saying? So I can't say that I've done anything really interesting just recently, apart from digging and chopping wood. And I've just taken all the wood that I'd prepared last year in and put it all in bags and brought it in, and then filled the roundel with new wood that I've got. That sycamore tree I took down, I went and got loads and loads and loads of it. I mean, several loads of it. And it'll probably fill two. But if you don't know what I'm filling, they are, if you know what stock netting is, a stock netting fence, the galvanized steel wire made into a net, then into a roll, and it's a general fencing material. pig netting or stock fencing or whatever you call it. Pig netting where we are. And what you do is, what I did was get some old stuff people were throwing away, and it was still perfectly all right. Still galvanized, a little bit of rust here and there, but not much. And roll it out, and each square, when you roll it out, count 22 linear squares, and then cut it so you've got 22 whole linear squares. And then you have a short length then of stock netting, pig netting. Then you make it into a circle, like into a cylindrical shape, and you put one square over the other square, just one at each end, so you end up with 22 all the way around. No, 21 wouldn't it be? And then you turn the bits that you've, anyway, you do that, and then put that on a pallet, and then fill it with wood. Fill it with chopped logs, the size you're going to put on your fire. And then, when that's full, do the same again and put it on the top and tie it with a little bit of string, a little bit of Charlie band all the way around, and then fill that. So you've got this tower of wood that's exposed to the wind, but then you put a polythene bag over the top of it to stop any rain that's falling straight down, and it's, it doesn't keep the outsides wet, dry, but it's good enough. Making sure it runs off, of course. And then weight it with bricks or whatever you've got on the top, stop it blowing off, and make sure it's a dome-ish shape. Make sure it's proud in the center, so the water runs off. Anyway, I made one of those today and filled it, sawed and split, and the logs filled it, and I cut the netting for another one, and I've put 2 barrow loads in. Maybe, it's not even half full on the bottom one yet, but there's probably enough timber there to fill. Yes, it will fill it, so I'll have 2, but I really need 3 to get me through the winter. But there's enough wood already on site that I just need a saw up that's been coppiced. So great. So I can do that when I feel like it. That's the thing. And I know I'll get it done before the back end, because I will feel like it. And as long as I'm stay healthy and all that and everything. But anyway, everybody's great. When I say everybody, what I really mean is Dell, he's great. Harry Growler, he's great. Pete and Peter, they're great. Love Merle, I think he's great. I think he's does great hangout anyway. And Antonio, yep, I think he's great actually. I like his you never know what you're going to get sort of thing with him, and he does tend to veer off now and again, but that's okay. And Nick from Phuket Word, he's great. He's very good. I think somebody who, because he lives where he lives, I think that's it brings an extraordinary slant on it. Anyway, I'm going to stick to my 14.5 minute rule. So see you.